The morning sun streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows of quantum dynamics, casting golden light across the polished floors. Sophia Chen adjusted her tablet as she reviewed the day's schedule, her long black hair pulled into a professional bun. At 28, she'd worked her way from intern to executive assistant for the founder and CEO, mastering every detail of the cutting-edge tech company's operations. "Did you see him yet?" whispered Jade Park, one of the software engineers, sliding up to Sophia's desk with barely contained excitement. "The new guy in robotics?" Sophia glanced up, one eyebrow raised. "See who?" "Marcus Sterling. He just transferred from our London office." Jade fanned herself dramatically. "Sophia, he's gorgeous. Please tell me you've seen him." Sophia couldn't help but smile at her friend's enthusiasm. "Jade, you said the same thing about the last transfer, and he turned out to be engaged. This is different. Trust me." Jade grabbed Sophia's hand. "Come on, he's probably getting the facility tour. Just one quick look." Against her better judgment, Sophia allowed herself to be pulled toward the glass-walled conference room where new employees received orientation. And there he was, tall with an easy smile, dark hair, and the kind of casual confidence that turned heads. "Okay," Sophia admitted quietly. "He is handsome." "Handsome?" Jade scoffed. "Sophia, that man is. What the hell is going on here?" Both women jumped at the sharp voice. Sophia turned to find Adrian Wolf standing behind them, his usually calm gray eyes blazing with something she'd never seen before. Adrian was 37, a tech genius who'd built quantum dynamics from a garage startup to a billion-dollar company. He was known for his brilliant mind, impeccable suits, and complete emotional control. But right now, his control was nowhere in evidence. His jaw was clenched, his hands fisted at his sides, and his gaze burned as it locked on Sophia, then shifted to the conference room where Marcus was laughing, then back to her. "Sophia. My office. Now." His voice was dangerously quiet. Jade's eyes widened. "Oh no." Sophia felt her stomach flip. She'd worked closely with Adrian for 4 years, admiring his intelligence and dedication, sometimes catching herself noticing the sharp line of his jaw or how his rare smiles transformed his whole face. But she'd always kept those thoughts buried. He was her boss, and he'd never shown any interest beyond professional respect. Until now. Sophia followed Adrian to his corner office, very aware of curious glances from other employees. His office was minimalist luxury, clean lines, expensive furniture, a view overlooking the city. He stood with his back to her, shoulders rigid. "Close the door." Sophia obeyed, her heart hammering. "Adrian, if this is about the Marcus Sterling project." He cut her off without turning. "You're being reassigned. You'll work exclusively with me from now on. No more coordinating with robotics. No more interdepartmental meetings unless I'm present." Sophia blinked in confusion. "What? That doesn't make any sense. I work with every department. That's my job." "Your job is what I say it is." He finally turned, and the intensity in his gaze made her take an involuntary step back. "Is that clear?" "No, actually." Sophia felt irritation override confusion. "This is ridiculous. You can't just restructure my entire position because you're in a bad mood." "I'm not in a bad mood." "You're clearly in some kind of mood." Sophia crossed her arms. "And I'd appreciate knowing what I actually did wrong instead of receiving these cryptic commands." Adrian stared at her for a long moment, emotions flickering across his face too quickly to identify. Then his expression shuddered completely. "You're dismissed. We'll discuss your new responsibilities tomorrow." "Adrian, please just tell me." "It's Mr. Wolf in the office, Sophia." The formality felt like a slap. "And what's going on is that I'm your employer giving you instructions." Sophia felt heat rise in her cheeks, a mixture of anger and hurt. "Fine, Mr. Wolf." She turned and walked out, closing the door with more force than necessary. The rest of the day was torture. Sophia tried to focus, but she kept catching Adrian watching her through his office window. Every time their eyes met, he'd look away abruptly, but not before she saw that same burning intensity. By 5 o'clock, Marcus Sterling stopped by her desk to ask about building access codes, flashing that easy smile. Sophia was so tense she could barely manage polite conversation. She felt Adrian's gaze on them like a physical weight, and when she glanced toward his office, he was gripping his phone so hard his knuckles were white. "Is your boss always that intense?" Marcus asked, following her gaze. "He's been watching us for like 5 minutes. He's particular about procedures," Sophia said diplomatically, though her mind was screaming that something was very wrong. That evening, she found a note on her desk in Adrian's precise handwriting: "We need to talk. Rooftop garden, 6 p.m. Please." The "please" was what got her. In 4 years, Adrian Wolf had never said please for anything work-related. Sophia looked at the clock. 5:47, the office was emptying out. She could ignore the note, go home, maintain the professional boundary that had somehow shattered today. Instead, she found herself in the elevator, pressing the button for the rooftop. When the doors opened, the evening air was cool and carried the scent of the rooftop garden Adrian had installed last year. He was there, leaning against the railing, tie loosened and jacket discarded. He looked more vulnerable than she'd ever seen him. When he heard her footsteps, he turned. The raw emotion in his eyes made her breath catch. "I owe you an explanation," he said quietly. "For today. For all of it." Sophia walked closer, maintaining careful distance. "I'm listening." Adrian ran a hand through his dark hair. "When I heard you call Marcus Sterling handsome, something in me just snapped. I know I have no right to feel that way. I know it makes me sound insane. But Sophia, I couldn't help it." Sophia's heart began to pound. "I don't understand. For 4 years, I've watched you walk into my office every morning with your coffee and your efficiency and that smile you have when you think no one's looking." His voice grew rough. "For 4 years, I've memorized the way you tap your pen when you're thinking, the way you hum under your breath organizing files, the way you care about every single person here. And for 4 years, I've told myself I couldn't do anything about it because I'm your boss and you deserve better than some obsessed CEO who can't stop thinking about you." Sophia felt frozen, struggling to process his words. "But then you called another man handsome, and I realized I've been lying to myself." His gray eyes held hers. "I can't be indifferent about you, Sophia. I've never been able to. Watching you smile at Marcus made me want to fire him just for being in the same room as you." "That's crazy," Sophia whispered, but her pulse was racing. "I know." He turned back to the railing. "That's why I'm telling you now. Tomorrow, I'll reverse those restrictions. You can go back to normal duties, and I'll figure out how to be professional. I promise." Sophia stared at his rigid shoulders, at the way he was holding himself together through sheer will. Suddenly, 4 years of her own hidden feelings came rushing to the surface. "What if I don't want you to be professional about it?" Adrian froze, then slowly turned to face her. "Sophia, don't say that unless you mean it. It's not pity." She stepped closer. "Adrian, I've spent 4 years telling myself you were off limits. That you saw me as nothing more than competent. But if you've really been feeling this way," he closed the distance in 2 strides, his hands framing her face. "Say it clearly. Tell me I'm not misunderstanding." "I have feelings for you," Sophia said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Real feelings. The kind that make me notice when you skip lunch. The kind that made me insanely jealous when that investor kept flirting with you last month." Adrian's smile was radiant. Then he kissed her, soft at first, then urgent and claiming, a conversation in sensation about all the time they'd wasted. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, he rested his forehead against hers. "I'm going to handle this right," he said firmly. "Tomorrow, emergency board meeting. Full disclosure. Follow every protocol. Then I'm taking you on a proper date." Over the following weeks, after navigating board approval and company policies, they began dating openly. But Adrian grew distant at times, and Sophia sensed he was hiding something significant. One evening at his secure estate outside the city, Adrian seemed particularly tense. "There's something I need to tell you. About why I've been so isolated." Sophia took his hand. "Then tell me." "My partner, Celeste's mother, wasn't human. She was an alien physicist studying Earth's quantum mechanics. We fell in love. She died when Celeste was born." His voice cracked. "Our daughter is half alien. Her skin has a purple tone. I've kept her hidden because if anyone discovered her existence." "You have a daughter?" Sophia whispered. "Yes. She's 8, brilliant beyond measure, and I've kept her locked away her entire life because I don't know how else to protect her." "Show me," Sophia said without hesitation. Adrian led her to a wing filled with advanced equipment and books. A small girl sat reading, her skin a soft lavender that shimmered. She had Adrian's features but eyes that held galaxies, deep purple and knowing. The message came from Vanessa Hunt, Adrian's ex-girlfriend and former business partner. She'd hired investigators who'd photographed Celeste through high-powered lenses. $20 million, Vanessa demanded when they met her with lawyers present. "Or the world learns about your alien daughter. Think what the government would pay for that." "You're extorting us over a child," Sophia said, her voice shaking with rage. "I'm collecting what I'm owed. Adrian ruined my reputation when he ended our partnership. Now I'm returning the favor." After she left, Adrian looked devastated. "We have to relocate. Tonight. Take Celeste somewhere they can't find us. Or we fight," Sophia said firmly. But fighting meant risking everything. Vanessa leaked a blurry photo to conspiracy sites. Within hours, government agencies contacted Adrian's lawyers about verifying claims of extraterrestrial contact. The board called another emergency meeting. "Adrian, you need to step down as CEO temporarily," Patricia said gently. "The company can't survive this scrutiny." Workplace harassment intensified. Someone vandalized Sophia's car. Colleagues openly questioned if she'd known about Celeste all along, if she was complicit in hiding alien evidence. Sophia found Celeste crying in her room one evening. "Everyone will hate me now. They'll think I'm a monster." "You're not a monster," Sophia said, holding her close. "You're extraordinary. And we're going to protect you." Adrian appeared in the doorway, looking broken. "Sophia, you should leave. Save your career. This is my burden to carry." "Our burden," Sophia corrected. "I'm not leaving. We're a family." That night, Adrian pulled out the engagement ring he'd been carrying. "I know the timing is terrible. I know everything's falling apart. But Sophia Chen, I need you to know, you're the best thing that ever happened to us. Will you marry me anyway?" Sophia looked at the ring, at Adrian's desperate hope, at Celeste watching from the doorway. "Yes," she said. "We fight this together. As a family. Celeste, this is Sophia. She's someone very important to me." The girl studied Sophia with intensity. "Your neurological patterns indicate genuine acceptance. That's rare." "Hi, Celeste," Sophia said, kneeling. "Your dad says you love physics. Want to show me what you're working on?" Over the following weeks, Sophia visited daily. She brought science puzzles, worked on equations with Celeste, treated her like the brilliant child she was. Celeste bloomed under attention, laughing and playing in ways Adrian said she never had. "She's never bonded with anyone like this," Adrian said one evening, watching them work on a quantum mechanics problem together. "You're giving her what I couldn't, acceptance." That night, after Celeste was asleep, Adrian pulled Sophia close. "I love you. You walked into my life as my assistant, and you've become everything." "I love you too," Sophia whispered. "Both of you." Their kiss deepened, and they made love for the first time, passionate and profound, sealing the trust they'd built. Adrian called an emergency board meeting the next morning. Sophia sat beside him as he addressed the directors with characteristic directness. "I'm here to disclose that Sophia Chen and I are in a romantic relationship. We've taken every step to ensure propriety, but I wanted full transparency." Patricia Kim, the sharp-eyed CFO, leaned forward. "This creates complications, Adrian. She reports directly to you." "Which is why I'm proposing Sophia report to you instead," Adrian said calmly. "Her role shifts slightly, but she maintains title and compensation. I'll recuse myself from any decisions regarding her career advancement." The board debated for an hour. Finally, they agreed with conditions: strict documentation, clear boundaries, and any hint of favoritism would trigger review. "I appreciate the board's trust," Sophia said. "I want to be clear that my feelings developed naturally and had nothing to do with professional advancement. My work speaks for itself." Adrian's hand found hers under the table. "Sophia has earned every achievement through merit. Anyone suggesting otherwise is both wrong and insulting." The board approved, but the real challenges began immediately. Anonymous emails circulated: "Sleeping with the boss is apparently a valid career strategy at Quantum Dynamics." Sophia felt like she'd been punched. Colleagues whispered. Some offered support, but others looked at her with judgment. Adrian found her in the break room, sandwich untouched. "You saw the email. Half the company saw it. I'm going to find who sent it and fire them," Adrian said, voice tight with anger. "That'll make it worse. It'll prove their point about favoritism." Sophia met his eyes. "Maybe we moved too fast. Maybe I should transfer companies." "No." The word was absolute. "I'm not hiding you. You earned your place here long before anything happened between us." He grabbed her hand right there in the break room. "You're not defined by small-minded opinions. You're defined by your actions, your character, your competence." The harassment continued: excluded from meetings, cold shoulders, printed articles about inappropriate relationships left on her desk. Through it all, Sophia tried to prove herself through work, but Adrian was fighting his own battles. Board pressure about optics. Whispers about his judgment. Even supportive directors expressed concern about company reputation. "Everyone's waiting for us to fail," Sophia confessed one late evening in his office. "Then we make a bigger statement," Adrian said, pulling her onto his lap. "Marry me, Sophia." Her heart stopped. "What? Marry me? Show everyone this isn't scandal, it's real commitment." His gray eyes were fierce. "I've loved you for 4 years. The timeline doesn't matter. I want you as my partner, my equal, my wife." Before Sophia could answer, her phone buzzed. "An unknown number. I know about the purple child. Call me or I go public." Adrian's lawyers moved swiftly. Vanessa was arrested for extortion, illegal surveillance, and attempting to exploit a minor. The leaked photo was successfully debunked through expert testimony about digital manipulation. But the damage was done. Adrian resigned as CEO to protect Quantum Dynamics, though he retained his position as founder and primary shareholder. They married quietly, just Celeste, Patricia as witness, and a judge. No fanfare, no publicity, just commitment. 6 months later, Sophia stood on the deck of their estate in the Pacific Northwest, watching Celeste play in the forest. The property was isolated but beautiful, secure laboratories where Adrian consulted remotely, and space for Celeste to finally live freely. Celeste thrived here. She ran through the trees with her purple skin glowing in dappled sunlight, studied with visiting scientists who'd signed ironclad NDAs, and slowly became the child she'd never been allowed to be. Sophia had transitioned to remote project management, working with select clients while homeschooling Celeste in advanced physics and helping her navigate human social dynamics. "She's happy," Adrian said, joining Sophia on the deck. "Really, truly happy." "So am I," Sophia replied, leaning into him. Adrian wrapped his arms around her. "You know, when I overheard you call Marcus handsome, I thought my world was ending. Turns out it was just beginning." "Jealousy looks good on you," Sophia teased. "Though maybe don't restructure entire departments next time." "Can't promise that." "You're very inspiring." Celeste ran up to them, her purple skin shimmering with exertion. "I solved the quantum entanglement problem. Want to see?" As they followed her to the lab, Sophia reflected on the journey. She'd casually called someone handsome, and her boss had responded with shocking jealousy that revealed years of hidden feelings. That revelation had led to love, then to discovering an impossible secret, then to fighting for a child who needed them. They'd lost careers, reputations, normalcy. But they'd gained something far more valuable, a family built on fierce love and absolute acceptance. That evening, after Celeste was asleep, Adrian and Sophia sat under the stars. "I never imagined this would be my life," Sophia said softly. "When I took that assistant job, I thought I'd work there a few years, then move on. I never imagined I'd find someone who could love both me and Celeste so completely," Adrian replied. "Someone brave enough to choose us over everything else. It wasn't a choice. It was the only option that made sense." Sophia turned to face him. "You two are my family. That's not something you choose, it's something you recognize." Adrian kissed her deeply. "I love you, Sophia Wolf. I love you too. Even when you're irrationally jealous. Especially when I'm irrationally jealous. That's when I'm most myself." They laughed together, and Sophia realized that sometimes the best love stories begin with jealousy that reveals hidden truth. Sometimes overhearing one careless comment can shatter years of carefully maintained distance. Sometimes the person you think you know professionally is actually the person you're meant to love completely. She'd called someone handsome, and her world had exploded in the best possible way. As stars wheeled overhead and Celeste's gentle breathing drifted from inside, Sophia understood, home wasn't where you planned to be. It was where jealousy transformed into declaration, where secrets became trust, where three souls created a constellation of belonging. The overheard confession had left her speechless. But finding her voice again had led her exactly where she belonged.